Leaders were signalling their congratulations, so a sense of relief, I think, in Europe that Biden is the president-elect. There was a lot of welcome, particularly over the fact that Biden has said he would bring the US back into the Paris Climate Agreement fold. But there was also this carefully worded suggestion about the challenges that are faced in the future and cooperation on those challenges together. One of the big issues that European leaders are going to be thinking about is NATO. Trump was seen as being divisive, not particularly supportive of the alliance, whereas Joe Biden is seen as somebody who's a big supporter of NATO and may look to reinforce the alliance. But there are some aspects of that he won't be changing from the Trump administration, including perhaps the 2% of GDP that Trump demanded that other NATO members pay their fair share. That's likely to remain the status quo. And there's a suggestion that Joe Biden will not be making a U-turn on other important decisions.
Joe Biden isn't going to change Washington's approach to international issues overnight because he can't.
It's a mistake to believe that everything changes. Europe must, above all, count on itself.
Nothing will be easy. There are also many issues where I don't think anything is going to change there.
There's also the issue of trade. This has been a massive problem with all these tariffs that Trump has been imposing on EU products over the last few years. Now, Joe Biden comes into the presidency with a US trade deficit of $170 billion with the EU. So trade is something that is going to be continuously a difficult issue. There's also talks coming up over the digital tax on tech giants, which have caused friction over the past year or so. And there is this continuing dispute over subsidies for Airbus and Boeing. So that is unlikely to resolve itself very soon. Now, the EU has also been pushing ahead with this agenda of more sovereignty in defence, in trade, trying to perhaps rally itself up against the US. And that is also unlikely to change.
This marks a new chapter in European history, one where Europe is independent, where we can be proud of our European culture and identity. We'll be able to stand up against China, against the United States, against the disorder we are currently witnessing.
European strategic autonomy is goal number one for our generation. We're sending a message not only to our citizens, but also to the rest of the world. Europe is the world power.
And then, of course, there's the issue of Brexit. Those negotiations not going too well between the UK and the EU. But the EU is hoping that a Biden presidency will not give special treatment to the UK, particularly if there is that no-deal Brexit. So lots of issues that Europe is waiting to find out about. But the reality is Joe Biden has so much on his plate domestically, trying to create that harmony within the US. And let's not forget that Trump gained more than 70 million votes. Trumpism is alive and kicking, and Joe Biden is going to have to do an awful lot to reach out to those voters.